So I finally have matching seats for my front row in my home theater. These are the Valencia Onyx Barcelona Ultimate Edition. Okay, first things first, big shout out to Valencia for sending these seats out to me to use in my home theater. They did send me 2 seats to keep in exchange for a review. However, I did purchase a 3rd seat with my own money because I need 3 seats up front. So this is the first time that I've actually had the same 3 seats from the same model in my front row, and I'm super excited to show them to you. So I'm gonna take all this plastic off, all this protective stuff off, and then we'll talk about it. So assembly on these is actually pretty easy. I've had 4 different Valencia models of seats. These are by far the easiest to set up. There actually really is no setup. So unlike, the Tuscanys or some of the other chairs that I've had, when you get them in the box, you have the box, and then you have the backrest, and then you have the actual seat. So the backrest actually comes separate on most of their other chairs. This one, this is how it comes. So you don't have to attach anything. Literally, all you'd have to do is take off the back. So you take off the back, the power cord is already installed. All you have to do is plug it into the outlet, and then even the cables that you usually have to connect for the power for the reclining, and then the power for the lights, they're already connected. So literally all you have to do is take this off. The power cord is velcroed to the wood part of the chair, and then you just plug it in. So it's actually really easy. You literally just take this out of the box, plug it up, and you're good to go. So basically what you do is the power cord is velcroed. So you have your power cord here, and then the lights, or the power to hook up the lights, it's already hooked up. So literally all I have to do is plug this in, and you're good to go. Okay, so I have the Valencias unboxed. So again, this is the Valencia Barcelona Ultimate Edition. So there's 2 editions. They have the Ultimate, which is the one I have, which is the smaller version. And then you have the Grand, which is going to be the bigger version. So I opted to go for the Ultimate because my front row, the width of my home theater is only 10 feet. And when I built my riser, I didn't know about these seats, but I built the riser and made sure that I haven't had enough on the front row to be able to fit 3 Valencia seats. And originally I was going to go with something else, but when they came out with these, I was like, you know what? I really like these. They have the low back. That'll really help out, with in the theater and people sitting on the front row filming, stuff like that. But also I have a step. So I believe the width of these is something around like 96 inches or so. But I've got everything unboxed. I've got these 2 chairs set up, and I also have this love seat armrest that I'm going to show you here too, because I'll talk about that. So the configuration that I have, it's 1 full seat, and then I have a love seat. And again, the reason why I had to go with love seat, because if I did 3 full seats, it was going to be extremely tight, and I wasn't necessarily sure that they would all fit in the front row in between the steps. So I said, you know what, not really a fan of the love seat, but let me just go ahead and get 1 full chair and then a love seat, and that'll give me plenty of room, wiggle room in between. But yeah, so I am already in love with these chairs. Really cool chairs. So pretty much, the same features as every other chair. You've got your cup holder. You've got the, different lighting that you can choose from. You've got your removable cup holder, and I believe this is like chrome black or something like that, but you can take this out. You can wash it if you need to. It's removable. Again, you've got your illuminated cup holders. You've got some different colors there. You've got your accessory holder. So if you've got a table tray, so if you have like, your table tray, you can stick that in there. And then, if you have another accessory like a tablet or phone holder, you can stick that in there, put your phone in there, and then, you know, if you're watching a movie, if you're doing something else in here, maybe you're working in here, or just doing something, you know, you've got your phone there, you can easy access. And they've got like, you know, wine holders, they've got popcorn holders and stuff like that. And then on the inside, you've got all the same controls that you'll find on most of the newer Valencia theater seating. So I'm kind of bummed that they went away from the illuminated buttons. I was a fan of that because now you have to remember which button is in the dark. After a while, it's kind of like muscle memory. I don't really have that problem because the same buttons are on the chairs behind me on the Valencia Tuscanys, but it's the same thing. So, you know, you've got your recline, your decline, you've got your lumbar support, you've got your headrest, you've got your memory, and then you've got your home button. But one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to go with the Barcelona edition is because of the low back. Now, ideally, I would have liked to have had these in the second row, but I could only fit 2. And who knows, maybe in the future I'll upgrade to the Barcelonas in the back, but I'm absolutely happy with the Tuscany Ultimate Edition. I forget what they're called, but yeah, the Tuscanys, I love those. Those are actually one of my favorite chairs. I've had 4 different versions of Valencias, but I really love that one. So those 2 are probably going to stay back there just because I can't fit 3 full seats back there. But one of the biggest benefits of having the Barcelonas is the headrest. So right now you can see my head is completely clear of any obstruction. I'm a tall person, so I don't really have that issue with the Tuscanys, but whenever I would film in here, it was always hard. Like if I was filming on the front row, or if I was filming on the second row and I put my camera in front, I always had to make sure that I cleared the headrest. Now, I know that that's something that you guys will never have to deal with, but I do like this because when I was sitting on the second row, which is my main seating position, the Tuscanys, when they were in the front row, they were just right at the bottom of the screen, and it was almost getting into the actual screen. So it would hit the border of my Seymour screen, you know, that little velvet part. So it was just right there, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with something a little bit shorter, and then, you know, I won't have to worry about that. But you'll see that the headrest comes up, and then you can sit there. You have your back support. Now, I don't think these are as comfortable, obviously, as something like the Tuscany or some of the other chairs. Obviously, there's going to be less padding. This is more square. The other ones, I think, are more ergonomic for your head and your neck. But with something like this, I mean, the design, it absolutely makes sense, and I think they did a really good job. So you've got that here, and if you can see, so I'm 6'1". You can see that the chair still doesn't fully cover my ears. Almost right at the bottom, maybe a little bit past my earlobe, but I've still got pretty good, you know, audio freeness to hear everything. So, and then if you don't want that, you know, if you just want to sit back, and I was a little bit worried getting these seats because I thought maybe because of the low back I wouldn't have much back support, but again, I'm 6'1". I don't think this is really an issue. So really the only time that I'm going to be sitting up here on the front row is when I have friends over, because, well, it used to be the case that the best 2 seats were in the back, and so I would sit on the front row. But now everybody has a comfortable seat. So, you know, anytime anybody comes over, they don't have to fight for the best seats. All the seats are the best now. And, you know, sitting on the front row, I think this is really going to enhance the experience, at least for me. I'll still probably sit on the front row when friends come over because that's a sweet spot, just because of how the speaker layout is. But now I can sit in the front row, and I always hated not having the same chairs. Like I had mixed match chairs. I had 2 chairs, and I had this one-off, which was still Valencia, but it wasn't the same model, and it just looked weird. I hated it, and I said, you know what? Next time I'm gonna get all three of the same chairs up front, so that's what I have. But I also have this guy here. So like I was talking about earlier, because I have a love seat, I wanted people who sit on the front row to still be able to have a place to sit their cup, because whoever sits here, I mean, you have a cup holder to the left, but then there's no cup holder in the middle, and then you have a cup holder on the right. So I asked Valencia to send me this. So this is basically a love seat arm, removable arm. So I'm going to open this up and then show you how it works. So here's the insert, and you can see basically what you would do is you would set this in between the love seat. I don't have the love seat connected right now because I'm still need to do some connections in the back. Now the only thing is, and Valencia did tell me this when I asked for it, the color is not actually the same. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the picture, but this one has a little bit more sheen to it than the actual leather that's on the Barcelonas. I don't really care that much because I'm only going to be using this whenever there's people in the front row that are sitting in the seat, if they want it. If they don't want it, then it's not a big deal. But I wanted to make sure that there was, you know, an even amount of cup holders. So, you know, you've got your cup holder here, you can take it out. And then you've actually got some little storage, just very little. It's not very deep at all. I don't know if you can see that. So, you know, it's very sturdy, and, you know, I'll probably just keep this somewhere in case if there's a person that says, hey, I don't have a cup holder here, I can just stick this in there. I don't really care about the mix match of the color and the leather. It's only, you know, using it for people that need a cup, if it's even needed. By the way, so I will put a link in the description, but Valencia is giving all of my viewers $100 off with my code Hatoraid, and that's on any chair or any purchase in the store. So $100 off if you guys want to buy these chairs, if you guys want to buy the Tuscany, if you guys want to buy any chair, use my code Hatoraid at the provided link, and you will get $100 off on your order. And there are also affiliate links, so you'll also be helping out the channel if you decide to purchase. But there's really not a whole lot to say about these chairs other than they're awesome. The leather is, I believe this is 20,000 Napa leather. So I think it's the same as the Tuscany's. Super soft. I'm already in love with these things. They're actually very comfortable, and it just makes the theater look even better. Having all the same seats in the front row and having this low back, I'm really liking this. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.